For me, you're a person full of striking contradictions, a religious communist.
Sasha,
you have a very wrong idea about communism. The first communist ever was Jesus Christ. He was the first person on the planet to say care for the poor, the orphans and the suffering. I've studied all the religions of the world. There are some who can just talk about the Bible, but I actually know the Bible very well.
You need to wise up. Jesus taught Adam and Eve and Jonah and the whale as literal history, not allegory. With all due respect, Ed, that is entirely false. That is wrong. That never happened. So, you should pre-order my upcoming book, Killing Jesus, which will have the truth.
I'm willing to grant it all. I'm willing to grant the Immaculate Conception first, then the virgin birth, then the resurrection, and the Annunciation and the Assumption. I'm willing to grant all of it. It doesn't prove the truth of the proposition that you should take no thought for the morrow. The central doctrine of Jesus of Nazareth, take no thought for the morrow. No investment, no thrift, no care for your children, that you should abandon your family, not worry about construction, about investment, about anything. Just follow me.
In the Judaic culture, where a Messiah was prophesied to come, what were the circumstances and situations that would lead a person who's a human being to discover their divinity and then move all the way from waking consciousness to soul consciousness to cosmic consciousness to God consciousness and ultimately to unity consciousness.
And here's what I want you to see. This is free enterprise at work. So Jesus was a capitalist. That's the lesson here. Jesus was a capitalist. And he's the Christ figure here. He said, look, this is my money. I have a right to do with it whatever I want. The government doesn't have a right to tell me what to do with my money as a business owner. It's my money, and I get to use it as I see fit.
Webster's dictionary defines a liberal as one who is open-minded, not strict in the observance of orthodox, traditional, or established forms or ways. The words attributed to Jesus in the Gospels clearly reveal that he was on the opposite end of the political spectrum as those today who call themselves Christians. Jesus was a pluralist liberal who taught that one need not conform to strict and orthodox views of God.
I was like you, Margit. I thought Jesus came, died on the cross, that Jesus' being here was about his death and dying on the cross, when it really was about him coming to show us how to do it, how to be, to show us the Christ consciousness that he had, and that consciousness abides with all of us. That's what I got. That's what I got.
The question is not what would Jesus do. The question is not what would Jesus cut. The question is what would Jesus take. Taxes and budget cuts? What would Jesus do? No, what would Jesus take? That's the question people need to ask to put this in perspective. Of course, the answer is nothing.
Well, whatever inspires you to be crazy, to write a book about liberal Christians, and especially about Jesus.
Jesus was a liberal, yes.
You believe that with all your heart and soul, right?
I do, but the book really is trying to build bridges between conservative Christians and liberals on the one hand, and between liberal Christians and liberals politically, the atheists, who many people use the word liberal as if it means non-religious.
And the gospel, it is the foundation of this conference. It's your only hope. The gospel is that Jesus Christ came into the world and bore the wrath of God, the curse. Galatians 3:13, one of the most precious verses in the Bible. He became a curse for us. And he performed a righteousness for us, perfect, which we never could perform, which is now, by faith alone, imputed to you, so that you may be united to this perfect Christ, him bearing all the curse, him providing all the perfection.